Alright, so I'm putting some holes in a cutting board with a small handle grip area, and I'm finishing up this last hole here. And once we get this last hole done, then we should be good to go. And basically what I have here is a Fisker's hand drill. It's kind of made for arts and crafts, but I use it on my kayak whenever I am trying to install anything. It's just easier to use. You don't have to worry about creating too much heat or losing control of a power drill and penetrating your hull, any of that kind of stuff. So then I create the holes here, and like I said, this is a cutting board, and the cutting board is being used to hold my tournament identifiers. And I just went and got a set of cheap paddle clips that can pretty much be installed on anything, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm installing this last paddle clip, and what I found is that when I'm trying to measure my fish for the digital tournament, it makes it difficult because you got to hold on to the fish, and you got to make sure that, you know, number one, it doesn't come up, and you can't put your hand under the gill, so you got to be careful that your hand is positioned properly. And by the time you hold on to everything, it becomes a little difficult. In addition, getting the identifier in place so that you don't have to worry about losing the fish or it being a bad picture, because ultimately that picture is your weigh-in, and without it being right, then it can end up being not accepted in the tournament. And if that happens, then that fish is basically useless to you. So I found that my kayak paddle is always in front of me, and it is also just on the furthest side of my hog trough when I'm measuring. So in that case, it allows me kind of a space to prop this on my kayak paddle and use it to hold that identifier. And the identifier sits right here. I'm not sure whether I'm going to mount a little waterproof bag that I use, and you'll see that in the picture, and I put the identifier in it, or whether I'm going to laminate the identifier and then just, you know, attach it here so that it can be pulled on and off. I guess I could kind of permanently or semi-permanently attach one and make it so that I could write and rewrite different identifiers without having to change the thing out. But the idea behind it is to take some paracord, attach it to this. After I attach it to this, then that allows me to use a carabiner clip, which this is a Night Eyes carabiner clip. It's got a little bit of extra oomph and a wide mouth. So it also locks, which I kind of like in the kayak because it gives you the ability to, you know, not have to worry about it coming off or getting pressed and so forth. So then this attaches, and whether I loop it and attach it, then I can toss this off the boat if I want to. I can, you know, let it drop, drag, not worry about whether it comes loose or falls out of the boat. And it also secures the identifier so that I don't lose it. You know, I always carry an extra just in case, but the hassle of losing one and then having to go try and track down your extra or get it out, whatever the case may be, makes it a little bit more difficult. So I just put a scrap piece of wood down here on the table, Table's not anything fancy, but it is a solid wood table. And then I drilled my holes, and now I'm going to take a length of paracord, and I'm going to use it, and probably going to use about 5 feet of paracord. I want to have enough extra so that I don't have to worry about throwing it off the side of the boat. I can always wrap it up. So we're going to go with about that much, which is going to be, going to be a little over 5 feet, maybe 6 feet. If I need to cut off some, I can. So we're going to use that. So we're just going to cut a little piece, and then going to burn the end of it. Alright, so we have the paddle clips completed on the back, and I have attached a piece of paracord. I'm going to continue to heat this up and melt it to try and make it a little harder to come undone. It smells so yummy. So we've attached the paracord to the board, and we've taken a lighter and we've heated up the knots so they won't come loose. We've added about 4 feet of cable. And the idea behind that is to be able to put this on the paddle to put my hog trough here and let this lean on it so that it holds it in place, and then the KBF identifier is going to be attached right here. And I haven't figured out whether I'm going to laminate it and just stick it on or how I'm going to do it. But this is ready to go, and I can just pretty much wrap this up like this, and store it so that it doesn't come loose, and that kind of helps free up the hand issue, so that I don't have to hold on to as many things, and I can get a picture and hold on to the fish. Anyway, so that's the build for this. It's pretty simple. Like I said, the board I don't even think was $1. The paddle clips were probably $5 or $6. The night eyes was a couple of bucks at Walmart, and the paracord, you only use a few feet of it. You probably got some laying around that you can use without having
to buy anymore, but I think it's probably $5 for like 50 or 100 feet. So anyway, there you go.
Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
You'll find a link in the description to the materials that were used.